Hi everyone, it's Mr. G. It is pouring rain out, but I had to get some fresh air, but it's also really cold out. So I'm going to go inside and let's talk about some math. As always, we're going to start by talking about some math you may be seeing in the news, and I want to talk about a term you may have read called price gouging. Price gouging, and this comes from an article from the Seattle Times, and the title is $150 for $7 sanitizer. Price gouging complaints pile up in Washington state amid coronavirus outbreak. So there's something called price gouging that is going on across the country, and there's a lot of math behind what that actually means. So let's talk about it. The term price gouging refers to charging an extremely high amount of money for something that is normally not that expensive. And this usually happens when the supply of something is really low. So in the most recent weeks, people have been buying up a lot of hand sanitizer, and people have been going to stores and cleaning the shelves. You can't find hand sanitizer in stores. So what some people have done is they've bought hand sanitizer, and then they've tried to resell it online for a much higher price, and that's called price gouging. In the article that I just linked to, they talk about a bottle of Purell hand sanitizer that is this size. This is the large bottle that originally cost $7. Online, someone was selling that same bottle for $150. And I want to use a little bit of math to talk about the different ways we could see this price gouging. So the first way I think of it is, how much more is that? So the way I would figure that out is I'd take $150, which is our new price, I'd subtract the $7, and I'd be left with $143. So the person who bought and resold this was charging $143 more than it originally costs. Another way we can think about this price difference is by saying, well, how many times as much is that? So if we start with 150 and we divide that by 7, and I have to get my calculator because I do not do that in my head, 150 divided by 7, we get 21.4285714, a bunch of different numbers that we don't have to worry about, just going to put dot, dot, dot. That tells me that that is roughly 21 times the price. Around 21 times. So they took the original price and multiplied it by more than 21 times. So you could normally get about 21 and a half bottles for what they're charging now for one bottle, which is insane. The third and final way we can talk about this increase is the most 7th grade way of all, and it's called percent increase. And the way I like to think of it is like a sale. If you go into a store, you will often see sales. You will see signs like 25% off and 50% off. If it's a really good sale, you'll get 50% off. That means they're going to take half of the price off and you don't have to pay it. They're saying half off of the original price. So if this was on sale for 50%, our original $7, if that was on sale for 50% off, we would pay $3.50 because 50% off means you take 50% of this and take it away. What's going on here is sort of the opposite of a sale. We're not taking off the original price, we're adding. But we can still calculate what percentage of this original are we adding. To be a little clear, just to make it a little bit more clear, for example, if I wanted to add 100% of the price of this, it started at 7 and I said I want to increase the price by 100% instead of a sale. I want to increase the price by 100%. The new price would be $14 because 100% of 7 is another $7. So increasing by 100% is a fancy way of saying doubled. But here we're doing much more than increasing by 100%. So let's figure out how much we are. The way we do that is by setting up a part over whole fraction. So our whole is 7 because we started with an original price of $7. So how much of that 7 are we adding on to our price now? And for that, I'm going to use this number right here, 143. And this fraction tells me the whole is 7 and the part is 143. That's weird. We don't usually see fractions where the part is greater than the whole. When we do, we call them improper fractions. But here it makes sense because the price went up by more than the original price itself. And when I plug that into a calculator, 143 divided by 7, and I hit my equals button, I get something that looks like this, 20.42. And there's a few more digits after that, but I'm not going to include them. I just want the first 2 so we can make an estimate. What this number tells me, if I multiply it by 100 to find out the percentage, because this right now is just the decimal form. I want to find what it is as a percent. That tells me there is a percent increase of 2,042. That is the percentage of the reverse sale that is happening here. So this price, instead of being 50% off, instead of being decreased by 50%, was increased by 2,042%. That is price gouging. Luckily, many of these people trying to price gouge are not having success. One quick example that was in the New York Times is this man. He's got a shirt on that says "Family Man, Family Business," which is ironic considering that his business is trying to steal as much hand sanitizer as he can and then sell it to people at a higher rate, called price gouging. Bad news for this guy. After he bought over 17,700 bottles of hand sanitizer, Amazon, the website that he was going to sell them on, no longer allowed people to sell these for higher amounts than they were worth. They were cracking down on price gouging. So this man was stuck with all of these bottles. Further, what happened after this was that the National Guard came to this man's house and took all of his supplies to redistribute them to people who needed them. So not only did he not make money, he had to donate all of his supplies to people who needed them. And that is great news. Let's talk about puzzle number 5. You are on an island with your 3 best friends, a wolf, a cat, and a mouse. You need to get off the island, but you only have a boat that can fit you and 1 animal. If you leave the wolf alone with the wolf will eat the cat. If you leave the cat alone with the cat will eat the mouse. How can you get yourself and all 3 animals safely off the island? This was a really tricky question, and I think a lot of people got stuck after the first step. Because the first step, I think, the way I do it, the first step is the only step that makes sense. You can't leave the wolf and the cat together. You can't leave the cat and the mouse together. So take the cat. Let's take this cat and move the cat over here. So now our cat is on the right side of our screen. Okay, so we are over here with our cat. The wolf and the mouse are on the island still, over here. We are over here. Okay, so far so good. Then we go back over here. If I take the wolf and bring it over here, the wolf and the cat can't be left together. But if I bring the mouse over here, the mouse and the cat can't stay together. And this is where a lot of people got stuck. They thought, I can't do anything. No matter what I do, one of these animals is going to die. And a lot of you guys came up with really creative solutions, like one of you suggested have the mouse get eaten by the cat and then the cat get eaten by the wolf. I don't know why that helps, but that was one of your solutions. So we're not going to do that. We're going to make sure all of these animals can live safely because, again, they are your 3 best friends. They are your 3 and only friends. You have a wolf, a cat, and a mouse. If one of them eats the other, you're losing one of your 3 best friends. That's 33% of your friends gone in an instant. So we're not going to let that happen. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick either one of these. I think I'm going to take let's take the mouse. I'm going to take the mouse. And I'm going to bring the mouse all the way over here. So now I have my cat, my mouse, and myself are over on this side. What is going on here? We're on this side. The cat, the mouse, and me. The wolf is all alone on the other side. If I leave this side, the cat eats the mouse. Can't do it. So what I'm going to do is when I leave on my boat to go back to the island, I'm going to take the cat with me and bring it back over here. So the cat is now back on this side. And I'm on this side as well. Now, of course, I can't just leave because the wolf and the cat can't be left alone. So this time, when I go back across, I am going to take this wolf with me. I'm going to take this wolf with me and move it across the island over here, which is great news because now I'm over here with the wolf and the mouse. They can be left alone. So I'm going to go back across one final time, take the cat with me, and bring it safely across to the other island. So now we are off the island. We have the wolf, the cat, and the mouse, and me. Here I am. That's great. What a good artist I am. Okay, so we're all there. We all survived. Nobody ate anybody, and we're off the island. That is how you do it. The trick was taking one animal back to the island with you after it was already off. That was the big trick to this puzzle. Let me know if anyone figured out another way. There may be more methods to this that I don't know about. Today's puzzle of the day is puzzle number 6, and the rules are simple. You may only touch one of the glasses in front of you. There are 6 glasses. 3 have grape soda in it, 3 are empty. You can only touch one of them. Your goal is to make a row of alternately full and empty glasses. So instead of being full, 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 empty, 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 it should either be full, empty, full, empty, full, empty, or empty, full, empty, full, empty, full. Either way, they have to alternate being full and empty. And the only rule is you may only touch one glass. How do you do it? As always, we will end with some positivity practice. Well, this is where we practice being positive because it doesn't come naturally. Being positive takes a lot of practice, especially when the news can be so negative. But it is possible, and it is worth the effort. So today's quote comes from Abraham Lincoln. I think he was an actor. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that. I think he was a movie star. He may have also been a president. I'm not sure. But his quote: "I am a slow walker, but I never walk back." It's a really interesting idea that's in 2 parts. First, I am a slow walker. What I think he's saying there is he doesn't rush. He's not always the quickest. But he's always moving forward because he never walks back. So although it sometimes takes him a long time to get where he's going, he's always making progress every day, which I think is a really great message for while we're in this social distancing out of school time, which can be pretty scary. Let's just make every single day. Let's make sure we take one step forward because it doesn't matter how slow we walk. Let's just make sure we don't go back. I think that's a great message. If you have any ideas, let me know. And if you have any suggestions for some positivity practice quotes, please put them in the comments. And I hope you have a wonderful Monday.